But Tzu Chi volunteer experienced twists in life and is able to stay positive. In Malaysia, an artist utilized recycled cardboard to create beautiful works of art. Welcome to DaAi Headlines, I'm Hu Chiao. Glad to be here. In Taichung, Tzu Chi's Houli Liaison office launched a weekly vegetarian bazaar, which became very popular. One of the volunteers in charge, Cai Shufen, has experienced life twists and turns. Her husband had an affair, but after her husband became seriously ill, she was able to think in another way, and even took him home to take care of him until he passed away. Let's take a look at her story.
第1棒张丽梅，第2棒卓金珠，第3棒庄连满，第4棒蔡时芬。这是我们后里联络处的香鸡4大天王，不能太大片，因为太大片哦，烘起来吃到的人会硬硬的。这一周的1周1束要推出的是2碗。
Sister Cai Shufen is actually very brave. She only took over the kitchen team officer this year. We discussed with her whether to promote the vegetarian diet, and then she said yes, but she didn't know anything. For a period of time, because I work in a mart, my time was not fixed. Later, my husband suffered from lung adenocarcinoma, and I took care of him for 3 years. I have really participated in Tzu Chi activities for about 5 to 6 years. My husband has an affair, and he has another family. Actually, I was stupid. I didn't know about that. He was with her less than 1 year after we get married. They have been together for almost 10 years before I know. As a woman, I also understood that it was not easy for that woman to be with him. Later, when he fell ill, he was willing to let me take care of him. So I was happy to take care of him, really happy to take care of him. He is disabled, cannot speak, cannot walk, and has a nasogastral tube. I need to help him to chest care and turn over. He cannot move, and I need to help him to move. In the end, he couldn't speak. When he was still talking, one time he fell, and my son and I took him to the hospital. He called me by my name at the time. When I asked him what was going on, he said, "I'm sorry." I asked him what's wrong. He didn't speak anymore. Before he passed away, I kissed him, said words of comfort to him, and kissed him again, saying that I love you and let him rest assured. In the past 3 years, he belonged to me completely, 24 hours, almost 24 hours by Cai Shufen's side. She is also very cooperative, because when she didn't know how to do it, she responded with a smile when we told her. She doesn't worry we are accusing her or something, she will not. I was originally very introverted, like a wooden person. I really am this kind of person. In the past, I couldn't talk to you so much. Because I saw my husband's woman, she was always happy all the time. At that time, I made a wish that when I saw people, I would laugh happily. Slowly, I changed, and I'm very happy. We are very happy here. We chat together, really happy.
We have the good relationship like sisters, and it's better than a sister, really.
In order to support Taiwan's vaccine fund, Tzu Chi volunteers in North Toronto mobilized, producing handmade soap, which sold out within 2 weeks. Many of the supporters are from Taiwan, and they hope to contribute their efforts to the vaccine fund. Volunteer Wang Shuling handmade a wide variety of soap, using natural ingredients and catering to design details.
Christmas is approaching, and it makes me happy to see these boxes that represent the Christmas holidays.
In order to fundraise for Taiwan's vaccinations, though Tzu Chi volunteer Wang Shuling is in Canada, she wanted to do something for her country.
Without Tzu Chi brothers and sisters and my friends, this is impossible. I'm grateful to everyone. Within 2 weeks, we have thought out 73 pieces of soap.
Wang Shuling's goal was 100 pieces of soap, raising a total of 100,000 NT dollars. To her surprise, she passed her goal by a lot. Though it's cold in Canada, she still insists on bringing her products to her customers' doorstep.
A lot of friends stay at home. They don't know how to do charity. After knowing the charity sale this time, they wanted to contribute to the vaccine funding in Taiwan. They were happy after helping out.
I don't know what to say. I feel like it's mandatory for me to contribute.
You bought soap from me, and I will use the money for donations. I feel very happy doing this. Isn't tiring at all.
After delivering soap products to her customers, Wang Shuling and her customers felt the warmth of humanity in the cold winter. Refugees used to live on odd jobs, but because of the pandemic, they lose job opportunities. Upon noticing the need, Thailand Tzu Chi volunteers organized relief distributions for refugees in 4 places from December 8th to December 10th.
Regardless of whether the pandemic is severe or not, life still goes on. International refugees have the most time. Therefore, one of the refugees, Liaison, from Vietnam, stayed at the distribution site to assist in translation after going out.
The subsidies and living packages provided by Tzu Chi really made us very happy. In addition to helping us get a meal, there's some money that I can use in my daily life.
Refugees have income only when they have the opportunity to work. But with the pandemic, many opportunities have disappeared.
You know, it is a struggle for refugees to get food, to get help, and I feel that Tzu Chi is helping so much.
Kalamalasmi, a single mother who raised 2 children, had 0 income and was sick because of poverty.
Thank you so much, Tzu Chi, everything, thank you so much. I very, very difficult situation. Now I come Tzu Chi, after little better, I feel better.
In early December, Tzu Chi Thailand chapter organized for relief distributions for refugees, provide subsidies, masks, rice, food, and daily necessities to help them alleviate their difficulties and wait for the opportunity for life to return to normal.
In Malaysia, a school hosts 650 students, with half of the student population rely on phone screens for online classes. In order to help students, Tzu Chi volunteers walked into the campus, providing laptops to students from disadvantaged families. Due to the pandemic, online learning became the only option. To students in disadvantaged families, they face a bigger challenge.
It's hard to use a phone for online classes. The screen is too small and it hurts my eye. Sometimes when we use the room for classes, my phone's battery gets deleted very quickly.
If I put the phone far away, the words become smaller, so I must bring it up close and bend my back to see things clearly. Most of our students are from middle-class families, and about 30% of them have computers. Normally, students would use phone for classes.
Upon noticing the student's situation, Tzu Chi volunteers brought laptops to SM Chonghua Kwantan.
After several talks with students, we provide them with a total of 14 laptops.
Facing loads of homework, students will definitely need a laptop for their online classes.
In the past, most of my homework required Word documents. The mobile version of Word is too small and hard to control. It's better to use a laptop.
We want to assist students in online learning so that they can interact better with teachers and see the homeworks assigned for them.
With a laptop, students can learn better during online classes and absorb more information. In Malaysia, due to the influence of the pandemic, Kapong Dai Kindergarten is unable to host an in-person graduation ceremony. Teachers held a virtual ceremony, ensuring the special graduation ceremony remains a special memory in the hearts of the students as well as the parents.
Wearing their graduation outfit, students of the Kampong DaAi Kindergarten in Kuala Lumpur are attending their virtual graduation ceremony. Through a quick video looking back at the students' growth in the past year, the parents are amazed at the changes they've witnessed.
When he returns home and he starts to unbutton his coat on his own, I was shocked and amazed.
She has transformed from crying every day, going to school, to smiling every day, looking forward to school.
I really must thank the teachers for their guidance. I have seen such improvements in her as the big sister. She's caring and has more patience for her younger sister now.
为毕业生拨穗。
The parents help to turn the tassel and also hand out the graduation certificate.
This year, we changed the theme of the ceremony into gratitude event for parents as well, since they have accompanied the students so much during the pandemic. Many of them are working and still taking time out to do online lessons with the kids or helping them after work. We really appreciate it. One of the moving parts for me was when he was performing the sign language song, and although his movements were good, the fact that he performed it from beginning to end was very moving for me.
有没有很喜欢学校的老师？
有，教我们很多东西，从4岁到6岁。
The graduates take the blessings and hope sent their way and face the future with courage and bravery.
Ever since the placement of the MCO, online shopping skyrocketed, which means many families having extra cardboard boxes lying around. Besides taking the boxes in recycling station, it can also be upgraded into art materials and toys. Artists Liu Qihui and Huang Xiujuan took in the cardboard boxes, combining it with other materials at home into helpful items.
This moves because on this axis there is a wheel. When the wheel turns, the character on top will rise and fall with the motion.
Turning the crank, the cardboard toy comes alive. These are automatic toys which operate on mechanical parts using an axis and lever principle.
This clothes clip has a spring pivot. When we add a design to it and pinch open the clip, it becomes a figurine toy.
This is made from cellophane packaging box. Whenever material I had at home, when I didn't have cardboard boxes I can use, I try finding other material I can use.
With over 100,000 packages being delivered each day, in these pandemic times, cardboard boxes and packaging are piled up at home.
I wanted to have more creative uses for it. It ties in with our lessons, where we ask the students to make new items out of old materials.
The couple have been in the artistic business for over 20 years. Since the pandemic, The couple have challenged themselves to learn how to make automated toys from the internet.
这样子，然后这些也是
The body is made from a paste glue bottle, and this is a shampoo bottle. All are reusable.
都可以来再利用这样子。排列的时候呢，你就给它高低不一样。
When lining up the wheels, if it is off-centered and staggered in height, then when the axis turns, the movements will differ and it will look like the body is moving.
身体呢，它就会在动。
When the wheel position is different, the movement motion will also change, which means the toy will need to be tinkered with and adjusted to get it just right.
通常有地方卡着，它就转。
When one part is stuck, the whole thing won't turn, so we need to adjust it.
现在可能是里面有
The parts are loose, it's not easy to operate.
所以它就没有办法很容易的操作。
As it's nearing the year-end holidays, why not try to make your own automated toys from items you have at home, giving recyclables a second chance at life.
In Indonesia, Jakarta, a craft artist, Dia, utilizes leftover fabric from textile factories in order to create folk costumes. Through her skillful techniques, she also introduces the variety of ethnicities in Indonesia to foreign tourists. In Indonesia, textile factories produce massive amounts of leftover rags, as it also brings issues to its surrounding environment. Craft artist Dia utilizes her clothing design specialty, creating folk costumes while introducing Indonesia's clothing variety of different ethnicities to foreign tourists.
Saya ingin membuat sesuatu yang tadinya tidak berguna menjadi berguna gitulah.
I want to utilize things that people will not use.
Tenun seperti itu dan ternyata juga banyak sampah-sampah yang lain gitu.
I will use these items like it's useful. For example, I use scrap fabric and introduce different ethnic groups' clothing to foreign tourists.
Terus gitu. Oh, saya ingin mengenalkan kain-kain Nusantara gitu loh.
Through these stores, I want to introduce Indonesia culture and products to foreign countries. I want to do this because Indonesia has a rich culture.
Mimpinya tadi bawa boneka Indonesia ke internasional.
As of now, Dia brought along a trend as craft artists in Indonesia promoted local ethnic characteristics, bring the best out of every region. In the past, Dia was once a designated artist for a sports event in Papua, designing sports souvenirs for the competition. During her stay in Papua, Dia introduced her dolls wearing folk clothes to foreign tourists, as she also introduced the process of making the clothes. To her, she wants to allow customers to have a deeper impression of folk clothes in different regions of Indonesia.
Hari ini sih memang saya masih lebih banyak mengajarnya. Saya belum.
As now, I teach craft artists mostly. If you want to ask me how many countries I have been to to Hong Kong to teach people. Now I focus on the eastern region of Indonesia. Like next week, I have to travel to Sumba Island.
Promoting eco-friendly and country-loving products, Dia not only utilizes leftover textile factory resources, she also goes on a mission to promote local folk clothes to tourists. Amongst the many child abuse cases, victims often display visually horrible wounds. Some wounds, however, remain under the skin, and if not treated in time, it becomes deadly for the baby. In order to find evidences of child abuse, radiology experts utilize both X-ray and photography to find traces of abuse. Let's find out how. Look, after shaking the baby becomes quiet, but the lighting here turns on, meaning bleeding occurred here.
眼球可以像一颗鸡蛋，就是它一个。
Our eyeball is like an egg. The exterior is like the egg shell, and the interior is the egg white and yolk. Our eye has a structure called the vitreous humor. It's kind of like an egg white. When shaking, the vitreous humor shakes too, and it will pull the blood vessels in the retina. After pulling, the retina blood vessels break and it starts to bleed.
如果是一个摇晃婴儿症候群的眼睛的话，这个是视神经。
If a baby suffers from a shaken baby syndrome, his eyes will have a lot of bleeding. Look, there are a lot of bleeding points. This is the area of macular degeneration. It should be very clear, but now it's filled with blood. It will be best if the blood can be absorbed slowly, but after absorbing too much, there will be a scar on the fibrous tunic. In 2009, the American Academy of Pediatrics made a name change to the syndrome. Before 2009, we called it the shaken baby syndrome, but because of misunderstandings from parents, they changed the name. Since sometimes when we are calming and lightly shaking the child, the act of calming actions will not cause any sort of injury.
这里有一脑膜下的出血，那这个出血是刚出血的，是急性的出血。
There's the bleeding under the dura mater, and it is a type of acute bleeding. Besides this, the chest X-ray shows that on the rib cage here, there is a fracture. Looking at the fracture, it seems like at least 2 weeks old, and it happened at a different time compared to the time of dura mater bleeding. With evidences through radiology, we can observe 2 different injuries, one new and one old, providing strong evidences of child abuse. Because most child abuse happen under 2 years old, so we put emphasis on simple photography. We take photos of the front school, a photo of the upper limb, a photo of the pelvic cavity and the lower limb. When the baby is being shaken, the abuser will grab onto the baby's chest, leading the baby to experience ribcage fractures and external intercostal muscle fractures. Tzu Chi University Elementary School students promoted vegetarianism on Facebook through a live stream, as many more wanted to learn how to cook vegetarian fried noodles. A vendor donated 50 packs of noodles, and students held an online charity sale on behalf of vaccine funding. Thanks for watching, and thanks for all the support along the way. Goodbye.